Let's go.
From the Bill Fralick Athletic Center at UHAS McGinley Stadium at Penn Hills High School, this is the Coach's Corner. Along with the head coach of the Penn Hills Indians, Ron Graham, I'm Bill Navari. Ron, before we get into all the aspects of football and the whatnots, one of the big changes from last year coming into this year is the absence of George Poindexter. You want to talk about George, and he passed away this summer unexpectedly.
George was here for probably 30 years, gave his summers up to assist the team in any manner. He was never paid, just an unselfish, willing to support the kids in the community, and he will be missed.
And it was a real shock whenever I heard about it, because I wasn't aware of his passing. But it's just amazing that somebody would give up that time and do it for free.
You're absolutely right. And he was planning to do it this year, and he had in the summer passed on in his sleep.
And he certainly would be missed. Also, just mentioned a couple of weeks ago, you had one of your players injured out here on the field, and certainly our prayers are going out to him.
Yes, we had a young man, Gerald Hawkins, who is a true a big red player. He in his heart. Things happened to him, was unfortunate on the field. He has a severe head injury. This just reflects on that. Any player is just an injury away from something very serious like this, and we need to focus that. We need to have our prayers out to this young man. We've been in contact with him. He's visited on passes from the hospital, and I expect him to be here on a pass at Friday at the game as well.
The passing of George, and obviously, with this injury, it kind of puts things in perspective with all the things that happened between last season and this season, all the politics aside and everything. It certainly it kind of puts football on the back burner to life in general.
Well, you're absolutely right, and this is just a game. The thing that's unfortunate is that the changing of the head coach. I'm here now, and I have no ill will towards Neil Gordon, but it's amazing that the kids continue to be pressured, asked by media that continue just to want to feed on this instead of allowing these guys to get bound to the business of having fun and playing high school football. And if I could say anything to people listening, give the kids a break. This is high school football. Folks are making this a lot more serious than it should be. Here we have a kid that could have a life-threatening injury, and people are pressing these young men. This is high school. Let them have fun in high school while they can do it.
Certainly you want them to have fun, but last Friday night at Gateway, it didn't seem like a very fun night. You walked into a beehive with a very good football team. A lot of folks saw preseason rankings with your Indians #1 that thought maybe it was going to be a cakewalk, but the Gateway Gators were a darn good football team, and your team ran into that.
Well, obviously we had some rankings locally, but however, we did run into a well-coached and a well-talented team that's ranked #3 in the country, which I would believe would override any local ranking. Then, as well as we made mistakes. There was some pregame jitters. Offense had a little difficulty, but however, they, as any team will ride through adversity, they came out and played a fair second half. We still lost the game, but we have a lot to build on. I think it was very positive the way the students and the student athletes responded. The players did a fine job to recover from such a deficit.
Had a lot of key injuries last week going up against Gateway. Played the #2 ranked locally team last week. Again this week, it certainly doesn't get any easier when you play Bethel Park. How is the health of the team coming into Friday night's matchup with the Blackhawks?
Well, we still are not as healthy as we would like to be, making no excuses. We had at least 5 guys out last week. We still have some players that are out this week. We're thin as far as the offensive line, and the guys who are there have been doing a fine job maintaining themselves. We still just have to play. We got to play week to week, and we have to be competitive whoever we put on the field.
Certainly, there's no need to panic. You start off 0-1. You're in the non-conference games. Whether you go 4-0 or 0-4, you're still going into the conference schedule 0-0. But what would you like the team to accomplish against Bethel Park this week?
Well, obviously, we would want to win. The other parts of those, the things that we need to put in as goals, we need to control the football, protect the football. Defense, we need to rise to situations and make some rallies as far as some stops. And we have the people that will be able to do that. I think that last week, being prepared, we went in prepared. However, anything could happen in the game, and it just happened that way. This week we're looking at being a little stronger. We're playing a very strong Bethel Park team, and we have to make sure that we tackle and protect the ball. It's just the basic things.
The name of the game is always X's and O's and execution, but emotions always come into play to some extent in the game. The kids looking back to last year's game against Bethel Park right here on the Hail Mary at the end of the game where Bethel Park pulled it out. Do you think the kids, obviously they have to remember that, do you think that's any extra added incentive?
Well, yes, it's an added incentive as well as that we're looking at our second game, and we have a lot of competitive players. They want to win, and we are attempting to put them in the right position to win. As I said, we're playing against a stellar team. The things that happened last year, they've put that behind them. They know that this is a really strong opponent, and that, yes, we have to ride on some emotion, but we have to maintain ourselves in discipline and execute.
As a new head coach, certainly it's maybe a different aspect as far as last year. You were the defensive coordinator. You've been the defensive coordinator here for several years. What is the biggest difference you've noticed between being a coordinator and the top dog?
Well, the top dog, you're responsible for all, and that's all aspects from it appears from locker room to on field, all the coaches. What I believe, though, we have a strong coaching staff that I really am working towards a cohesive unit with them. We have Matt Morgan, who's a local player from Pitt, was in the NFL. He is working with our line. We have Jake Shafino, who played here and went to Akron and had 4 years in the NFL. He's a receiver coach. And we have some young guys that were here last year, the offensive and defensive coordinator being Alan Belinsky. And then we have our defensive coordinator who's new this year to the position, but how he coached last year as the linebackers and helped us with the receivers, Mike Whalen, and he's doing a fine job. He's working with Damon Gibson on the line, and Damon Gibson's been here. And Damon Gibson as well played here and played for Pitt and was in the NFL for a year. So we have a fine defensive coaching group working with us. And again, adding one more I did forget was Lou Rash as the secondary coach. What I'm trying to get people to understand what we're doing here is that we have quality coaches here. We have coaches here that have played all aspects of the football game. Our kids are getting excellent instruction. And hopefully people would just be patient and continue to let these kids grow and mature.
I think it's a great thing whenever you get coaches who come back to the program to help out, and you get ex-players and kids that went to the NFL, yes, like Jake, who will come back to Penn Hills to help coach the younger kids. I mean, that really has to be a good feeling whenever kids come back and do that. Oh,
absolutely. I was here when Jake played. Jake was an excellent student-athlete here, and when there was an opportunity, he had no problem coming back. He's fitted in the schedule, as well as we have Matt Morgan, who as well has NFL experience, as I stated, and he is excited about working with these young guys and trying to give to them what they have learned and has been successful. So then I just want people to understand that we got qualified coaches on this field working with these young men.
Obviously you have your team goals for the year and you want to succeed, but what does Ron Graham, what are your personal goals as far as what you'd like to accomplish this year?
Well, I want to accomplish, first, to be competitive, successful team, but that's in more aspects than just winning. We're working towards maintaining character on the field. We're maintaining our academic situation. We want students to be successful in any aspect of when they walk off of this field. We have implemented a study table prior to practice, which is mandatory for attendance. There's a lot of things that people forget that just about football that we need to have these students not exploited for their athletic abilities, but we need to help build a foundation for them and continue to do that. And athletics is an excellent way, as many people know that. And we are continuing to be dedicated to maintaining a academic and successful character building program for these young guys.
A lot of folks may not know that you're a principal up at the high school. In your duties, obviously, you have a lot of kids that you're keeping an eye on up there. But do you also have to keep, maybe an extra eye somewhere in the back of the head, or else just always, watching out and making sure that these kids are towing the line?
Well, it's for all the students at the high school. The student athletes, they understand that we will not tolerate any kind of discipline problems at the school. They here will also be disciplined. We have contracted these students sign as far as the expectation of their behavior, and I will hold them accountable to that. and that could be team suspensions or even dismissal from the team.
And you're even holding them to grades, I understand.
Yes, there's a 2-0 rule, which is a minimum rule for us, and we're holding to that. We're having a study table, and 2-0 right now should not be one that people look at as a difficult task, but we are trying to make sure that these students are prepared to do anything they want to do academically after they finish high school.
That's fabulous. In case folks don't know, the 2.0 is just the C average, and that's better than I think what they expect in college. I think they might only expect a D average.
A D average, and in the past, in this situation here, you could actually play, which was ridiculous here. You could play here with 4 Ds and 2 Es, which gave you a 0.9 or so average, and that was ridiculous. We were actually failing our students, and we need to hold these standards up.
Well, best of luck to that, and certainly you need to be commended for it. You brought 3 team leaders with you tonight. You want to talk about our seniors of the week?
We have seniors of the week. We have Tom Fulton, a leader at quarterback, excellent student athlete, has been a leader here for several years. We have Curry Kirshner, who's going to be on as well. He's one of the anchors on the offensive line. He's a senior and a high quality person, and he's a leader as well. And then we have Mr. Darby. Mr. Darby is one of our young men in the backfield, and he brings a lot of character to the situation for us. And at times that I think that he's going to be highly successful somewhere in politics.
Chris looks eager to get on.
I'm sure he is, and it's just a pleasant pleasure to work with these young guys. So then, that's about all I have to say, and here they introduce these gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Ron. Best of luck to you on Friday night against Bethel Park. Certainly, I wish you a successful season. Apologize we couldn't make it last week to do the Coach's Corner, but now you got the first one under the belt. You think it'll be easier from here on out now?
Well, hopefully, I think I'll wear a little cooler outfit, for I won't sweat as much, and maybe I'll have a prepared statement for you next time.
Best of luck to you. Coming up next, our seniors of the week as the Coach's Corner continues. Our seniors of the week: Chris Darby, Tom Fulton, and Corey Kircher of the 2008 Penn Hills Indians. Chris, obviously this season didn't get off the way you liked it, but this week you have some revenge coming against Bethel Park. The team up for the challenge?
Yeah, man, we got off to a slow start, but it happens to any good team. So we're just looking to get, gel together and get things back right on track.
Last week, I noticed Gateway was kicking your way quite a bit on the kickoffs. Still looking to get the legs under you, hoping to start breaking the long ones again?
It's just, just everybody has a slow start. I just saw it as, opportunity. So this week, hopefully, we're looking for something bigger.
Of course, the quality of the opponent also comes into play as well.
Oh, yeah, they're a good team. We're a good team, so we're hoping for a good matchup.
Tommy Fulton, the quarterback of the team, this week against Bethel Park. Also, what are you looking to try to get accomplished and get going this week?
We just got to get things moving. We got to come together as a team and have everything click. We have to hit the short passes, and then if they're coming up on our short passes, we got to go long. If they're playing us on the pass, we got to run. We have to do everything perfect and be a complete package.
Have you seen anything in Bethel Park's films that you think you could take advantage of on their defense?
We should be able to take advantage of their pass because they play us 8-10 yards off the ball every time, and they like to have a 5-2 defense. Also, Chris could run the ball too because then we're going to split them out and spread them, so we'll see what we can do.
So you talk about Chris running the ball, and obviously you know that you can throw the ball against Bethel Park. Play comes in the huddle, and it's a pass. You have Chris in their lobby and say, "Come on, audible to a dive play here, or a sweep, or something."
They're always talking into my ear in the backfield there. If I agree with what they're saying, I'll go with it. But if I want to pass the ball, I'm going to pass the ball if we have it called. But if the run's there, we'll go with the run.
So as the bickering goes on in the huddle, Corey Kircher, the line, they just pretty much go up and do their thing.
Yeah, we pretty much just grit and bear the calls. If we see stuff, we'll try to tell Tom, but we try to do our protections and everything with that and our run blocks, stay on our mans, and make sure who we have is the right person.
What have you noticed in the films with Bethel Park? Did you think that the offensive line could take advantage of against the Bethel Park defense?
They're small up front. They're a lot smaller than we are, so we should be able to manhandle them, hopefully. They're a little quick, but I think we should be able to handle them well.
Last year, you missed quite a bit because of the knee. How are you standing up health-wise this year? The knee all good to go?
Yeah, the knee's perfect. Doesn't even feel like anything happened to it, so it's good.
Good. Health on the line is what matters most, especially with these two over here. They're looking at you to make sure that you guys stay healthy. Chris, what would you like to accomplish? What are your personal goals this year to accomplish?
Well, personal goals is definitely to get a ring on my finger. I think we're all looking forward to that. That's really a big deal for us. But, I'm here and there just making a big play. I like to be known as a playmaker, so just look forward to big plays every once in a while.
Who's been most influential to you in your life and steered you in the path that you're taking?
Oh, definitely my parents. They always tell me keep my head up and just keep, grinding it out. Time will come. Just keep doing your best. And, I thank them for it every day because without them, I'd probably be not sitting right here.
What do you plan on doing after you graduate?
Definitely college, some type of post-education. I'm looking forward to doing something big with my life. I like the spotlight a lot, so definitely something with cameras maybe.
There you go. Baseball or football?
Definitely baseball. I've been known as a Division I pitcher. I have like a 96-mile fastball and a mean slider. So this season, the baseball team's looking for a good matchup. I have like 3 no-hitters in the past, so we're looking for more.
Well, best of luck to you. I think Mr. Fulton over here, the baseball player, could enjoy your services in the spring. Tommy, what are your personal goals this year that you'd like to accomplish as a quarterback?
Personal goals, I mainly help out the team the best I can. I don't really have any main goals myself except to get 2,000 because Belinsky's shooting for me to have a 4,000 career passing yards. And I guess that's my personal one. But the main thing is to help the team. That way we can get back down to Hines like my sophomore year.
Obviously, it's something that everybody wants to do, to get back to Heinz Field. What was that like going out there playing as a quarterback on Heinz Field?
It was a great feeling, but you had to treat it like it was any other game. You couldn't look at it like, hey, we're at Heinz, and think that you're on a professional field. Hey, it's something different. It's the same as playing here, except it's a bigger crowd maybe. And you just have to go about it and do everything the way you do it normally.
Of course, Chris would like to score another touchdown on Heinz Field again as well. Who's been most influential on your life and steered you on the paths that you've chosen to take?
I'd have to say my family, parents, mom sitting over there, and
good answer then.
Nah, I had to. Nah, that's their job to keep you on the right track. They balanced my life out pretty well. 3.8, 4.0 student, playing 2 sports. I think
you can't do better than that.
I guess not. Nah, so I think they did a pretty good job.
Very good. Baseball team going to do well this year, you think?
I'm hoping. We just got to see new things. We got a new coach, Carl Seidel, so we'll see how that works, and then we'll get things going. Chris Darby, great addition to the pitching staff there.
So obviously the question of the week would then be soccer or lacrosse?
I'm going to go with lacrosse. It's a brutal sport, but then also soccer could really tough it out there. They really attack each other out there on the field all 90 minutes of that game.
I hear there's more injuries in soccer than there is in football.
It could be from the tripping and everything, but I don't know. Lacrosse, it might beat out lacrosse. I'm not sure.
What do you plan on doing after you graduate?
I'm really hoping to go to college. Not sure where yet, but hopefully playing a sport there too. So we'll see.
Well, best of luck in the sport of your choosing. Of course, the lineman down at the end is thinking, I go out and I block for these guys. But, Corey, what do you want to accomplish this year? What are your personal goals?
Personal goals, just be the best I can be. Want to get back to Hines because that was a really good experience and want to experience in my senior year. Protect these guys, they get hurt, we go down. So, be the best I can be and just block the people I need to.
Who has been most influential in your life?
I'd have to say my parents. Yeah, Chris Darby. No, my parents. They're my number one fans. They're always behind me if I'm having a bad day, and they're always there. And my grandma, she's been there too. So.
Oh, very good. We couldn't get through this without mentioning Grandma Joanna. She would personally, grab me by the back of the neck. After all, she was like a second mom to me. What do you plan on accomplishing once you graduate? What do you plan on doing after graduation?
Definitely a college. Don't know if for sport, being recruited by a couple of schools, but definitely go to college, get an education, and make something of my life. So.
Well, very good. Best of luck. Obviously, the question of the week also here should be checkers or tiddlywinks.
Neither. I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Boy.
That is 15 years. That's the best answer I've gotten. I think that tops the sniper answer. But these are our seniors of the week, and we've had a great time with them. Corey Kircher, Tom Fulton, and the one and only Chris Darby of the 2008 Penn Hills Indians. Coming up next, it's week 2. The Indians looking to get on the winning side of the scoring column. It's they host the Bethel Park Blackhawks, and it's coming your way next here on MSA and Comcast. From Uhas McGinley Stadium, it's the home opener of the 2008 Penn Hills Indians football season. A very pleasant good evening to you. I'm Bill Navari. Tonight, the Indians play host to the Bethel Park Blackhawks. The Indians won the toss. They've elected to receive, and they will get the ball first tonight. The Indians decked out in the gold helmets, the red jerseys, and the gold pants. Indians moving left to right. Indians lost last week big at Gateway by a score of 45-17. The Bethel Park Blackhawks winners last week. They are the number 2 ranked team in the WPIAL as per the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. The Blackhawks looking eerily similar to the Denver Broncos, but they have the black and orange. Indians a nice tribute tonight prior to the opener to George Poindexter, who passed away. Poindexter, who was part of the Penn Hills Indians football program for some 41 years. Bethel Park Blackhawk kick goes out of bounds. Tyreek Walker watched it go out. And the Indians, who had horrible field position all last week, should start off with some decent field position tonight. Indians offense led by quarterback Tommy Fulton. Brandon Eiffel, number 1, the wide receiver. Keep your eyes on him. That is a kid that the Indians need to get the ball into his hands. So the Indians will get the ball with their own 35. Indians will come out with a single setback behind Tom Fulton. Trips to his left, single receiver to the near side. Fulton will pitch back. That's Darby trying to find a lane. We'll get to the outside. Loses the football. It's a pile on the field. And the Indians have recovered. So the Indians will lose one. And not the way they wanted to get this one started, but Darby able to come up with it. In fact, they will mark him at the 35-yard line for no gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Indians. Opposite direction. This time the Indians throw to the left side. Pass is complete. It'll be close to a 1st down. Fulton connected to Tyler Berryman. And Berryman will be close to a Penn Hills Indian 1st down. In fact, they will give him the 10 yards. And the Indians have their first down of the night. Remember last week, it took them a long time to get that first down. Again, this time trips near side. Single receiver left. Lone setback is Darby. Fulton will throw again to the right. Again, it's Berryman. Get across the 50 down to the Bethel Park 47-yard line. Gain of about 8 yards on the play. The Indians now looking at about a 2nd down and short. Clock running, 10:40 to go here. Opening period. First possession of the game, either team. Indians starting back at their own 35-yard line. This time toss, Darby near side trying to find a hole. Bethel Park will close quickly, and Darby may get a yard if he's lucky. But he holds on to the football. We'll give him a yard on the play, and the Indians will be looking at a 3rd down and 1. About the Bethel Park Blackhawk 46-yard line. Now they'll mark him back at the 47, so no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Berryman will split to the left, trips to the near side again. Single setback. This time it's Mason. Mason with the ball. Piles into that Bethel Park defensive line for no gain, maybe a yard. They're going to mark him at the 46-yard line. We'll give him a yard. It'll be 4th and 1. Indian offense currently still on the field. Chris Darby comes back in. They brought big Dan Mason into the line. Mason, the linebacker, 6'2", 220, but Bethel Park able to stack him for just a gain of 1. Fulton will look, throw, Berryman, and he slips. Pass incomplete. They'll turn it over and downs. The play was there, but Berryman could not get his footing. The pass falls incomplete, and Bethel Park will take over with 9:09 to go here in the opening period. Great field position, ball at the Penn Hills 46-yard line. Berryman was there, but on this grass surface, could not get his footing, slipped, and the ball went over his head as he was falling to the field. Offset eye. Man in motion for Bethel Park. They'll keep it on the ground. Lyle Marsh gets to the outside, finally wrapped up close to a first down. Coming up to make the tackle, the Indian Stephon Thompson. So quarterback Eric Olson and the Bethel Park Blackhawks will be looking at a 2nd and about 1. Fossick and Shademan will split to the right eye formation. That's Fossick in motion to the near side. And they'll go right up the middle into the arms of Dan Mason. But Bethel Park will have a first down. Brock Vollmer picks up about 6. And the Blackhawks move the sticks, get a fresh set. And the clock continues to run now, approaching 8:50 to go here, opening quarter. We are scoreless. The Bethel Park Blackhawks at the Penn Hills Indian 40-yard line. In I formation. Eric Olson, the quarterback. Man in motion near side. They'll keep it on the ground. Looking to get to the outside does Bethel Park. Up across the 30, 25, down close to the 20-yard line. Lyle Marsh. Mark him out at the 21-yard line. That's 19 yards. And another first down for Bethel Park. Just followed the blocks to the outside, was able to stay clear of the Indian linebackers, but they finally caught up with him, but not until he picks up 19 yards down to the Indian. You mark him at the 20-yard line. Closer to a 20-yard pickup. Fossick moves left to right. Bethel Park will toss to the right side. Bray Ford gets down about the 15-yard line. Give him a pickup of 5. And Bethel Park going right at the Indian defense. Give it a pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Ford again. Indians close quickly this time. Aaron Donald with the tackle at the 13-yard line. Gain of a yard. And we'll call it 3rd down and 3. That's big Aaron Donald. Don't call him Archie's little brother. Aaron 6'2", 253. And he's a junior. Vollmer up. Marsh back. It'll be Marsh. And the Indians close quickly. A flag comes in. First contact on the play, Terrell Washington. Now, where this flag is, most likely holding against Bethel Park. But let's check the call. That's what it is. So do you leave him at 4th and short, or do you mark him back to 10 yards? I think inside the 15, you mark him back to 10 yards. Flag sits at the 15-yard line, so in essence it'll be a 12-yard penalty. Penalty marked off from the spot of the foul. So it'll be 3rd and 15 for Bethel Park. See if Eric Olson throws for the first time. It's been all runs so far for Bethel Park. That was their 6th straight. That one back because of the penalty. And now 3rd and 15, clock rolling under 7 minutes to go here, opening quarter. We are scoreless. Penn Hills and Bethel Park. Indians home opener of the 2008 season. And Bethel Park will throw. Olson goes back, it's picked off. Boobin has the blockers across the 50, the 40, has one man to beat. Olson in chase, Boobin across the 15, cuts back, and will go down inside the 10-yard line. We'll mark it right at the 10. Bethel Park tried to set up the screen, and Nick Boobin was right there, and the Indians with the big break. Looks like we'll probably have 1st and goal. And the Indian sideline getting Boobin some oxygen. Got to give a lot of credit to Eric Olson, the quarterback of Bethel Park. He was initially blocked on the play, but managed to catch up to Boobin. And the Indians with a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. I say penalties kill, and there's an example of it. Bethel Park was looking at a 4th and short inside the 15-yard line. Now the Indians with a 1st and goal, and Darby goes nowhere. Bethel Park's defensive line has a lot of size, a lot of speed. I think if the Indians, you're going to want to try to challenge that speed, maybe to the outside. What a turn of events. Bethel Park knocking on the door, and now the Indians back the other way, threatening to score first. Berryman to the left, trips right. Darby the lone setback behind Fulton. Fulton looks to the right, looks, throws, and he'll throw this one right out of the end zone. I don't know if he was going to be able to try to thread the needle. Corner of the end zone was Darius Patton. But now the Indians 3rd and 10. Well within Mike Fracco's field goal range. Kicked a 37-yarder last week. Play action. Looks inside. Slant pattern. Touch. Oh! Berryman unable to hold on to it. The pass is incomplete, and now the field goal unit will come on. Chris Washington will hold. Mike Faracca will try. It's like a 26-yarder. We'll call it a 27-yarder. Faracca's kick is up and looks like it's going left, and it does. So the Indians unable to capitalize on the Bethel Park turnover. And Bethel Park will start with 5:43 to go here in the opening period at their own 20-yard line. For Bethel Park, but the Indians unable to score. And now Bethel Park with their second possession. High formation behind Olson. They'll keep it on the ground once again, and the Indians close quickly right into the arms of Dan Mason. Goes Lyle Marsh. But Marsh, a nice job to pick up about 3 or 4 yards. Give him 3, call it 2nd down and 7. Beautiful night for football here in Western Pennsylvania. Trying to cloud up a little bit. Olson will throw, looks, near side, has a man. And unable to hold on to it is John And we'll call it 3rd and 7. Clock will stop with 4:55 to go. Joining me up in the booth tonight, Dave Howe, former Indian. Now assistant head coach of the Penn Hills Bantams. If you get a chance to go catch some midget football, go coach the Bantams. It's a midget football team that could probably beat a number of high school teams. And a few of those kids you'll see playing on this field next year. Olsen getting blitzed. Now it's a draw play. Ford has the blockers, and Ford is on a foot race. Across the 50, loses the football at Bethel Park, not able to come up with it, and finally they fall on it at the 37-yard line. Andrew Fossick able to dive on it. And Bethel Park will have a first down in Penn Hills territory at the 37-yard line. It's about a 27-yard run. And about 12 yards on the fumble. Well-designed draw by Bethel Park fools the Indians. Olsen will throw. Under pressure, pass. In and out of the hands of Rock Vomer. And Bethel Park with a 2nd and 10. So about 49 yards all told on the play on the run and fumble. But the result, Bethel Park a first down at the Indian 38. Again on the trap. And Bethel Park will have a first down at the 25-yard line. Lyle Marsh just carries the Indians. Finally, Mason and Washington able to bring them down. Nick Boobin also in on the tackle. That's 13 yards and a first down. Bethel Park likes to trap. And as you can see, they can do it well. Tight eye, and Bethel Park jumps off sides. And on the near side, Keith Doyle. We'll get 5 yards marked off. And Bethel Park a 1st and 15 back at the Indian 30-yard line. Bethel Park wastes no time to get up to the line. Slot receiver Matt Bliss goes left to right. And Bray Ford into a swarm of Indians. Danny Mason and Miles Davis will drop forward for a loss of 2. And now Bethel Park with a 2nd and 17. Clock rolling at 3:20 to go here, opening period. Indians looking for their first win of the season. Indians ranked number 5 by the Post-Gazette. Bethel Park, number 2. Second week in a row, the Indians play the number 2 team. Doesn't get any easier. Loses the football. Does Eric Olsen. Just a blitzing Dan Mason separate him from the ball, but Olsen able to fall on it. Ball bounces either way, left or right. That's Indians football. Olsen fortunate that is able to bounce right up into his arms. So credit Mason with the sack. Lost back to the 36-yard line. And we'll call it 3rd down and about 21. And Bethel Park will call timeout. 2:24 to go, first quarter. We're scoreless. Penn Hills, Bethel Park. You're watching Penn Hills Indians football here on Comcast and the MSA Sports Network. Bethel Park on a 3rd and 23 at the Indian 36-yard line. Olsen, play action, straight drop, under pressure, throws underneath. The pass caught inside the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bethel Park. Oh, my, on a 3rd and long, Bethel Park throws underneath. And Lyle Marsh able to run, go the distance. And Bethel Park scores first. So Marsh doing a nice job to get into the end zone. Bethel Park kick is up and good. Blackhawks. 8 plays, 80 yards. Get on the board first. 2:14 to go first quarter. Penn Hills trails Bethel Park 7-0 here on Comcast and the MSA Sports Network. Bethel Park kicking off for the 2nd time in this quarter. Another squib kick. Bobbled and fallen on. Tyreek Walker unable to come up with it. Dan Mason falls on it. The Indians will start at their own 33-yard line. Not bad field position. Well, considering their last one started at the Bethel Park 10 on a 1st and goal. Considering last week's average starting position inside the 20 to 33. Not a bad place to start. See how the Indians offense will respond following the Bethel Park touchdown. Again, 80 yards, 8 plays. Marsh wide open underneath. Caught it about the 20-yard line and was able to outrace Indians to the pylon. And made it in for the Blackhawk touchdown. I formation behind Fulton. It'll be Darby behind the block of Mason. Darby will have a hole across the 40. Holds on to the football and will be close to an Indian first down. That looks like Darby should have enough for the first down. And indeed he does. Indians with the no huddle. Have to wait until they move the sticks, but again, same formation. Fulton will throw, looks left, down the sideline towards Eiffel. Eiffel has it inside the 30-yard line. Goes down at the 26. 30 yards on the reception. Back-to-back first downs for the Indians, and as I said, the Indians need to get the ball into the hands of Brandon Eiffel. Eiffel left, Berryman right. Miles Davis, the end to the near side. And it'll be Darby going left, trying to find a block, gets one. Wrapped up inside the 20-yard line. In fact, they'll mark him right about the 20. Give Darby 6. The Indians looking at a 2nd down and 4. So Tommy Fulton put that pass to Eiffel right where he needed to be. Fulton, one of the seniors of the week, who did not mention that he likes to cook from scratch. Mason in front of Darby. Fulton will throw again. Quick look this side. Berryman has his hands on the football, is able to hold on to it. And will be close to a first down. I think if he was able to catch it cleanly, he would have been able to get the first down, but instead it's just a pickup of 3. It'll be 3rd and a yard. Just that quick little bobble enabled Bethel Park to close and bring them down. Clean catch. He would have had the first down and probably a good bit more. It'll be Darby. Hit in the backfield. And Darby looks like he'll lose a couple. Now back at the 24-yard line. excuse me, the 19-yard line. A loss of 2, and the Indians looking at a 4th, and we'll call it 3. And that'll do it. I think you see the clock wind down, but that'll do it for the first quarter after one period of play. It's Bethel Park 7, Penn Hills Indians nothing. You're watching Indians football here on Comcast and the MSA Sports Network. Second quarter action about to get underway. The Indians discussing the upcoming fourth quarter play. Alan Belinsky, offensive coach, in there. So now we'll go back down to our left. To the same end zone where Bethel Park scored. So just in case you're wondering, the Bantams, Penn Hills Indians Midget Football, will be at Morningside this weekend. Get there early. There's no parking. Fourth down for the Indians. 4th and 3. I formation behind Fulton. Berryman near side. Eiffel at the top of your screen. It'll be Darby. Darby will have the first down inside the 10. Inside the 15 to the 13. So on a 4th and 3, Darby picks up 7, and the Indians with a first down at the Bethel Park 13. Indian line opened up that hole. Moses would have been proud. Fulton looking. Eiffel at the 10. Dives up to the 6-yard line. Going to pick up a 7. Eiffel dove to the 5. I guess they're going to mark it where the knee went down at the 6. Indians with a second down, and we'll call it 3. Second man, Darby into the pile. Line surges inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. That was a long 2-yard run. So now 3rd and a yard for the Indian at the Bethel Park 4-yard line. Clock 10.5 to go here, first half. The Indians trail by 7. Power eye behind Fulton, and he'll throw near side towards Eiffel in the end zone. Eiffel, touchdown, Penn Hills! Brandon Eiffel runs under it. And the Indians are on the board. As I said before, and I'll say again, Indians need to get him the ball, and they did there. And the Indians, a Faracco kick away from tying it. And Faracco's kick is blocked. So with 10:18 to go here, first half, the score, Bethel Park 7, Penn Hills 6. You're watching Indians football here on Comcast. Indians go 67 yards in 9 plays. Brandon Eiffel, the 4-yard pass from Tommy Fulton. Point after block. The Indians trail by 1 with 10:18 to go, and Farraco's kick. Farraco boots it nicely inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. And Bethel Park with a nice return out to the 40-yard line. John Shademan. With a 37-yard return to the 40, and Bethel Park, nice field position. The way their offense has been running, you don't want to give them any more of a break than they need. Olsen, play action, looking, under pressure, throws underneath the pass. Complete about the 43-yard line. Rock Vomer with the reception. And we'll go out of bounds with a pickup of 3. So you see on the kickoff return, sometimes when you kick them a little too deep like that, return man gets a head of steam going, finds a little crack, and he just threw it. And that's what happened there with Shademan. I formation behind Olsen. Lyle Marsh, who scored a touchdown, will get it on the delay. And loses the football, and the Indians have it. Coming up with it, Terrell Washington. And Bethel Park's second turnover of the night. The Indians now great field position at their own 49-yard line. 9:20 to go here in the half. In fact, they're going to put them right up at the 50. Ball sitting right on the stripe at midfield. Well, on the Indian side, but the 50 nonetheless. And the Indians getting their troops set. I expect a timeout to be called here shortly. I think the Bethel Park coaches were arguing it was a fumble. Nice call, Dave Howe. You're hired. Fulton changes things around. Berryman comes off the line as they move the end left to right. It's Miles Davis. Fulton, play action, looks near side underneath. Eiffel to 45. Holds onto the ball as he's brought down. Close to a first down. Oh, what a bad spot that's going to be. Official standing back where the tackle began, but he didn't go down to about the 40. Does that mean they short him about 2 yards on that one? So 8 yards on the reception for Eiffel. That should have been marked at the 40. Oh, my. But the Indians with a 2nd and 2. No instant replay in high school yet. Mason with the waggle. Darby looking for somewhere to go, and he sees a sea of white. Gets nothing. Indians looking at a 3rd and 2. The 42-yard line. The Indians do not want to squander these opportunities that Bethel Park is giving them. Indians returned an interception back to the 10-yard line. A missed 27-yard field goal. Bethel Park marched that into an 80-yard drive. Now Bethel Park with a fumble at the 50-yard line, and the Indians with a 3rd and 2. Mason again in motion left to right. Fulton will look, hit as he throws, and a pass right into Lyle Marsh's hands. Lyle Marsh across the 40, and he's going to go. 30, 20, 10. Marsh for the 60-yard interception return for the Bethel Park Blackhawks. His 2nd touchdown tonight. So he caught that was about the 35, I think. About a 65-yarder. Fulton was hit as he threw it, and the pass went right into Marsh's gut. And from there, it was just matter-of-fact jaunt to the end zone. And Bethel Park's kick is up and good. 7:53 to go. First half. The score, Bethel Park 14, Penn Hill 6. You're watching Indians football here on Comcast. Bethel Park will kick this one deep at the 15-yard line. That's the Indians' Chris Washington with a lane. Gets across the 50 out to the 48-yard line. I think it was. It looked like Darby from the beginning, but it was Washington. Kicker did take him down. But the Indians field position at the 48-yard line of Bethel Park. So the Indians squandered the opportunity to 50. See what they can do here with the ball in Bethel Park territory. I think the Indians really need to respond following that interception return. The Indians need to move the football here. Sideline warning against Bethel Park, moving them off the field. Remember, they did that at Heinz Field 2 years ago. They came up and gave us a sideline warning, but everybody was already behind the line. Which we never understood why they ever gave that one. I formation behind Fulton. And a flag from the side judge. Indians have too many men at the line. It's a false start against the Indians. So the Indians were in Bethel Park territory. Now they are at their own 47-yard line. Fulton from the shotgun. Sidecar to his right, throw back, Washington. Looking for a lane, has a block, it's across the 50. Looks like he gets the penalty yardage back or close to it. And the Indians with about a second down and 10-yard line, we will give him 5 yards. It is a 2nd and 10. And clock will run, closing in on 7.5 to go here in the first half. Indians trail by 8. Again, shotgun. 4 receivers set for the Indians. Darby stays back to block, throws right, does Fulton in the pass way underthrown. Man out there, Darius Patton. And the Indians with a 3rd and 10. I'll tell you what, a big play in this game was Eric Olson, the quarterback of Bethel Park, who was able to chase down Nick Boobin on the interception return back at the 10-yard line. It's going to be a whole different ballgame. The Indians scored on that touchdown because they were unable to score on the possession. Went 4 and out from the 10-yard line. They missed a 27-yard field goal. Fulton will throw underneath. Has a man complete. Berryman will have a first down at the Bethel Park 36. 12 yards. And the Indians got a fresh set. Clock will stop for the moment with 7:17 to go here in the half. So the Indians do get a first down out of this drive. Now it's a 36-yard line. You'd like to see them get another one. Fulton again from the shotgun. Darby to his right. Fulton looks, throws right, has a man. And that was Patton who slid after a pickup of 4. He doesn't slide. He has some room to go. Fifth play of the drive. Officially 14 yards so far. $19 if you include the penalty yardage. Patton will take the end around. Cuts it up the middle. Right into the arms of a Bethel Park Blackhawk, Corey Spiegel. And I don't think Patton got anything on that one. Spiegel 6'1", 205. Patton 5'10", 165. Indians 3rd and 6. Fulton again to throw. Looks near side. In and out of the hands of Brandon Eiffel. Had a man on him. And the pass incomplete. The Indians now with a 4th and 7. I think at the 32-yard line here, I think the Indians should go for it on 4th down. And the Indians will indeed go for it. See if they throw in the screen pass here. Straight drop for Fulton. He does throw downfield, has a pass complete, and it's intercepted. Again, Lyle Marsh up the sideline, gets some blocks, and finally wrapped up and ridden out of bounds in Penn Hills territory at about the 45-yard line. So the Indians return the turnover favor. And Bethel Park at the Penn Hills 47-yard line. About 33 yards on the return for Lyle Marsh. Another gift. The ball popped right into his hands. Ford punished by Dan Mason, who looks a little agitated by the turn of events. No gain on the play. Bethel Park 2nd and 10. Clock running, approaching 5 minutes to go here in the first half. And the Blackhawks up by 8. Lyle Marsh, 2 interceptions tonight, 1 for a touchdown. Also a reception for a touchdown. Marsh will come in motion to the near side. Olsen looks back, throws. That's a lateral. And Marshall looks like loses about a yard. Officially, that's a run. Dan Mason comes over to drop Marsh for a loss of 1. Again, if you're keeping score at home, that was a run. So the backward pass, if Marsh did not catch it and dropped it, that would have been a fumble. In fact, he actually could have stopped and thrown the ball again. That's why on defense you always finish the play. Olsen, straight drop. Marsh to his left, throws that way, and a pass too far. So Bethel Park with a 4th and 11, ball at the Indians' 48-yard line. Clock stops, 3:51, and if you're Bethel Park, I think at this point you kick. But from the looks of it, they're keeping the offense on the field. Now here comes the punting unit. I would have seriously questioned that one, even if they did get it. Indians have nobody back. Now they drop Stephon Thompson. Bethel Park gets the kick away. Thompson at the 20-yard line, looks for somewhere to go. And it can only get to about the 25. But fortunately, the Indians did get Stephon Thompson back, or that one would have been inside the 10 easily. 3:41 to go in the half. The Indians trail by 8. Long way to go and 3:41 to get there. Darby, lone back behind Fulton. Now Mason comes on the motion. Darby looks to get to the outside, gets across the 30-yard line. I'll give Darby about 6 on the run. Mark him at the 31-yard line before going out of bounds. The clock will run with 3:23. Again, same formation. Darby behind Fulton. Dan Mason in the slot. Again, he goes in motion to his right. And looks like everyone knew the snap count except for the man with the ball. So the Indians will lose 5. Instead of 2nd and 4, it'll be 2nd and 9. Looks like the midshipman band down to our right. Fulton to his right, running for his life, and will be sacked back inside the 15-yard line. Homer at the 14 brings Fulton down for the sack. Indians will lose 12. So now it'll be 3rd and 21. You're Bethel Park. You know when he's a timeout here. High formation behind Fulton. I think if you're the Indians, you want to run the ball. Patton in motion to the near side. And there goes Darby on the delay. Darby across the 20, across the 30, tripped up before going down at the 31-yard line. 17 yards for Darby. But he'll be short of the first down, and the Indians will bring on the punting unit. And I still don't understand why Bethel Park is not using a timeout. And I think finally they do. Yes, they do. So Bethel Park, their second timeout of the half, comes with 1:29 to go. We'll take a break. Buck and a half to go before halftime. The Indians trail by 8. This is Penn Hills football on Comcast. Penn Hills Indians cheerleaders, and congratulations to the Penn Hills varsity cheerleaders. They're the winners of last week's Comcast Spirit Award. This summer, they were recipients of the UCA First Place Awards in Cheer and Dance and Excellence in Spirit and Excellence in Leadership Awards. Way to go, girls. Now Fulton back to punt for the Indians with 1:29 to go. The left-footed kicker, high to the near side, hits at the 38-yard line. And we'll go out at the 36 with 1:18 to go. Oh, no, not a bad kick for the Indians, Tommy Fulton. Bethel Park, 1 timeout left. They have the ball at their own 36-yard line. And they're up by 8. And Bethel Park, if they're able to score here before halftime, the key is they get the ball to start the second half. Score here, score on the first possession of the second half. That could put the game away. Sure, the Indians are aware of that, and they're trying to stop Bethel Park. They get the half to run out or get the ball back. Olsen looks, tries to set up the screen. Here comes near side to Marsh. Looks for some blocks, cuts back across the 40-yard line, carries Indians out close to midfield. They get a first down to mark them at the 49-yard line. 13 yards. Clock will stop with 1:06 to go, and Bethel Park comes quickly to the line. Nice play call by Bethel Park. Again, throwing near side. And they rule him out of bounds. Fossick with the reception. Mason with the tackle. And T.J. Jackson also on the tackle for the Indians. Pick up a 3. Second down and 7. More importantly, they did get out of bounds to stop the clock. Olsen rolls near side, under pressure, throws down the sideline, has a man, and a pass out of bounds. Andrew Fossick was there, but the pass thrown out of bounds, incomplete. Clock stops with 49 seconds to go, and Bethel Park with a 3rd and 8. Bethel Park doesn't get it here, Dave. You think they go for it on 4th down? What if they pick up a chunk of it? You still think they kick? Well, Bethel Park keeps it on the ground. Brings up a 4th down. And the Indians use a timeout. So they'll bring up a 4th down. And a right call by the Indians called timeout. Make them kick. I mean, the Indians with some dangerous return men back there. Just never know what could happen. 41 seconds. That's a lot of time, actually. Indians have 2 timeouts left. Clock stops on a first down. Can also spike the ball, so I'm sure the Indians weighing out all their possibilities. So they're discussing that on the far side of the field. Stephon Thompson counts the Indians on the field. Chris Darby will drop back at his own 10-yard line. Indians defending against the fake. Looking to get some pressure. Kick high, short. Thompson running up on it. Gets it at the 23-yard line, loses it, picks it back up again. And we'll go down quickly. They will give him the 23-yard line with 31 ticks to go. It's always dangerous. You always see that a lot of times when receivers come running up to catch the ball like that. Ball oftentimes bounce right off of them. Fulton from the shotgun. Eiffel near side, Darby beside him. Trips to his right, looks that way, throws underneath, the pass complete to Patton at the 30-yard line. 6 yards, and the Indians quickly to the line. Clock ticking, approaching 15 seconds to go. Fulton steps up into the pocket, again throws underneath, has a man to the right side, needs to get out of bounds and does. Patton gets the first down, gets out of bounds. And gets the Indians first down at the 35-yard line. 5 yards. Now 4 seconds remain, and you know what's coming here. And the Indians will call a timeout. So obviously the play they're discussing is going to be the bomb, unless they have some kind of little hook and lateral or other kind of trick play to go here. Otherwise, Fulton's just going to be lofting this one up. But the Indians also have to be sure that if they don't get it, to make sure Bethel Park doesn't. They've already returned a couple interceptions tonight, one for a touchdown. So if you're not going to get it, make sure the other guys don't either. Now, if you recall last year's game against Bethel Park here, had a Hail Mary. That came at the end of the game. And that one worked. Fulton steps up into the pocket, launches one. He rifles this one downfield towards Berryman. Pass overthrown, and the half comes to an end. Second half action coming your way next to score. Bethel Park 14, Penn Hills 6. You're watching Indians football here on Comcast. Second half action about to get underway here at Penn Hills Uhas McGinley Stadium with the score of the Bethel Park Blackhawks 14, your Penn Hills Indians 7. The Blackhawks went up 7-0 in the first quarter. A 36-yard pass from Olsen to the Blackhawks' first half MVP, Lyle Marsh. A nice play, caught about the 20, raced to the corner of the end zone, managed to get to the pylons before the Indians could stop him. Blackhawks up 7-0. The Indians returned on a 67-yard drive following that one. Brandon Eiffel, 4-yard pass from Tommy Fulton. The kick was blocked. It was Bethel Park 7, Penn Hill 6. The Indians were driving. On a third down play, Marsh, a 65-yard interception return for a touchdown. The Blackhawks up 14-6. That's where we stand going into half number 2. The Blackhawks will get their hands on the football first to start the second half. And they already lead by 8.
But right now I'm working.
Mike Faracco will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Thank you, Beth Strauss, for supplying the refreshments here at halftime. And Faracco's kick, high. Not as deep as his last one. This one taken at the 11-yard line. Another hole for the Blackhawks. They're coming up and submarining. Return man is Chris Washington. Schoeneman was the ball carrier. Now with 11:55 to go here in half number 2. Bethel Park will get their offense on the field. Olsen under center for Bethel Park. They'll keep it on the ground. That's Ford, who's hit in the backfield. Finally wrapped up by Danny Mason, who's wearing Mike Fulton's pants. So Moog with the ultimate sacrifice here in half number 2. No gain on the play for Ford, and it'll be second down and 10. I formation for Bethel Park. We'll go in motion left to right. Play action by Olsen. Throw underneath. Has a man across the 40, the 45, out to the 46-yard line. It's Rock Vomer. Terrell Washington will come up to make the tackle, but not until Vomer picks up a first down. I formation again. Keep it on the ground. Ford. Wrapped up. It's Donald. Aaron Donald after a pickup of 1. And it'll be 2nd down and 9 for Bethel Park. Trap underneath, big hole, Jim Karam. Late flag comes in. This one will get marked back. Bray Ford with a late hit in the back. But a big hole for Karam. Would be a 1st down at the Indian 43-yard line. Would be a gain of 11. Face mask call goes against the Indians. Holy. Saw an Indian come flying on a late hit from behind, and the flag came in. And they call a face mask against the Indians. 5-yarder. Now ball at the 39-yard line of the Indians. Bethel Park on the move. Karam in front of Ford. And it'll be Ford. Gets to the outside, breaks a tackle. Boobin unable to hold on to him. And Ford gets down to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 8. And Bethel Park with a 2nd and short. Karam had a hole. Stephon Thompson comes in and wraps him up for no gain. Clock running, approaching 8.5 to go here, 3rd quarter. Bethel Park 14, Penn Hills 6. Home opener of 2008 for the Penn Hills Indians. Marsh needed 2, got 1. In fact, almost no gain. And we'll call it 3rd and a short 2. So Bethel Park will leave the troops on the field. Ball to 31. No gain on that play. It'll be 4th and 2. Olsen, play action, looks, throws, underneath, has a man. Pass complete inside the 20. Wrapped up, thrown out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Stephon Thompson with the tackle. Rock Vomer on the reception. They have a 1st down at the 16-yard line, 15 yards on the play action. And Bethel Park on the move. Marsh. Wrapped up and brought down by Mason. He'll lose 2. Vollmer in front of Marsh in the eye. Olsen under center. Fawcett goes in motion left to right. It'll be a toss, right side, looking for Marsh. He'll be hit in the backfield, gets away from Thompson, but does not get it away. It does get away from Aaron Donald. And finally wrapped up and brought down. He'll lose another 2 yards. Should have lost about 5. So we'll call it 3rd and 14. So again, perhaps another play action. A little delayed draw. Olsen, no, instead makes a straight drop. Looks near side, throws towards the end zone, has a man, and a pass too far. Nice coverage on the play by Demetrius Moye. And it'll bring up a 4th and 14. Clock will stop with 5:52 to go. And Bethel Park will go for it on 4th down. The Indians hold them here. Could be a big lift that they need. Olsen with the drop. To his right, throws underneath, has a man, and a pass incomplete. Bethel Park will turn it over on downs. The Indians' defense holds. They dodge one there. 5:47 to go here in the 3rd. The Indians will get the ball at their own 19-yard line. So now let's see if the offense can get a lift from the defensive stand. Looked like Bethel Park, once they got down to the 16-yard line, kind of went away from what got them there. Sometimes offenses can get a little too cute. Darby. Across the 20 to the 21, picks up 2. And the Indians keeping it simple, showing patience. Fulton looks near side. Eiffel at the 25, and we'll go down about there. They'll mark him at the 24. Picks up 3. Oh, they'll give him 4 yards at the 25. Also joining us up in the booth tonight, Dave Howe's dad, who we call Mr. Howe. Indians lose the football. Bethel Park has it at the 22-yard line. Stephon Thompson couldn't hold on to it, and the Indians turn it over again. Bethel Park will have it at the 22-yard line of the Penn Hills Indians, and now the Indian defense is going to have to come up big again. It was just not a clean exchange between Thompson and Fulton, and the ball just sat there for just enough time for Bethel Park to fall on it. Now can the Indian defense come up big again? Twins to the right, I formation behind Olsen. Motion near side is Bliss. Marsh across the 20 to the 19. The Indians just not finishing their tackles. In the words of the great Vince Lombardi, it's grab, grab, grab. But it's 2nd down and 7. Aaron Donald with the finishing tackle on that play. It's Donald and Glanton. Tackles up front. Marsh with a big hole inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Another 5. It'll be 3rd down and 2. You see Bethel Park going back to what's worked for them so far tonight. And a flag from the back judge, which means too much time. Oh, excuse me, no. Bethel Park has 12 men on the field. Maybe that's why they've looked so good.
At the Penn 19-yard line.
So 3rd and a short 7. And Bethel Park uses a timeout. 3:05 to go, 3rd quarter. Score Bethel Park 14, Penn Hill 6. You're watching Indians football on Comcast. Following the timeout, Bethel Park to the line. 3rd and a short 7. Ball at the Indian 19-yard line. Olsen, play action. Donald with the pressure, steps up, throws towards the end zone. Touchdown, Bethel Park. Wide open, Brian Vukala. And Bethel Park extends their lead. Touchdown coming with 2:59 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Kick is blocked. And the Indians will trail by 14. The Bethel Park Blackhawks go 22 yards in 3 plays following the Indians' touchdown. Bethel Park has turned 3 Indian turnovers into 3 touchdowns. Consider a missed field goal a turnover. No. Indian offense still looking anemic. Squib kick goes out of bounds. They're going to roll a Indian touched it? I think they are. So the Indians will get it at the 35-yard line. Not bad field position. Hush goes over the crowd as they announce the 50-50 numbers. Indians keep it on the ground. Darby looking to get to the outside. Wrapped up and ridden down. After a short gain, Jared Pratt of Bethel Park with the tackle. Darby picks up 4. Single receiver each way, tight end to the near side. It's Davis. Fulton drops, throws to the left, has a man, Eiffel. And Eiffel just unable to get underneath it into double coverage. A thrown where only Eiffel could get it. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Indians. Yeah, good for the Indians, trying to get the ball into Brandon Eiffel's hands. I'd like to see him on an end around. Do something. Fulton under pressure, steps up into the pocket, throws, has the pass, dropped by Eiffel. Oh my, that would have been a 1st down for the Indians. Eiffel in triple coverage, but the pass was there. It's one Brandon should have caught. Falls incomplete, and the Indians punting unit will have to come on. Clock will stop for the moment with 2:11 to go. Indians with a 4th and 6. Think it's time to go for the fake here. So Bethel Park is thinking they have 10 men up front. Fulton does get the kick away under pressure. Takes a Bethel Park bounce back into Indian territory at the 48-yard line. Tommy Fulton comes up to down it. Kick of about 9 yards. Is that what it was? What happens? Sometimes the bounces go your way, sometimes they don't. Kick was nearly blocked. Fulton did get it away, but once it hit, it took a Bethel Park bounce back into Indian territory. Now Bethel Park starting at the Indian 48. Marsh, big hole, drives his way ahead across the 45 to the 43-yard line. Gain of 5. Marsh trying to get to the near side. Was down at the 41. Maybe 2 yards. Clock goes under a minute here in the 3rd quarter. Only points so far in this half. 19-yard touchdown pass by Bethel Park to extend their lead to 14 points. Olsen will throw. Has a man wide open to pass behind the defense. Vukala with the reception, and he's brought down quickly. Eric Newsom of the Indians recovered. Not until Vukala picked up 21 and a 1st down. Nice pass by Olsen to get it in there. Marsh on a delay inside the 20, loses the football, and the Indians fall on it at the 17-yard line. Oh my, the Indians couldn't have asked for anything more. It comes with 1 second to go in the 3rd quarter. Indians have it at their own 17-yard line. Holy cow, Bethel Park on the verge of putting this one away. Let's see what the Indians can do with it. So the Indians offense on for what should be the final play of quarter number 3. Darby. Nothing doing there as Darby goes into the Bethel Park defensive line. And that'll do it for quarter number 3. After 3 periods of play, your score, Bethel Park 20, Penn Hills 6. You're watching Indians football on Comcast. Fourth quarter action about to get underway with the Indians trailing by 14 and looking at a 2nd down and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Fulton from the shotgun, throws right, throws behind Eiffel. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. So the Indians, after dodging a bullet, now stumbling a bit. No gain on a run, an incomplete pass, looking at a 3rd and 10. Mason stands to Fulton's right. Fulton looks near side, throws down the sideline, and that one way overthrown. Looked like Chris Washington may have pulled up on the route. But the pass overthrown, and it's 4th down now for the Indians, 4th and 10. And here comes the punting unit. Fulton, nice kick, high. Fair catch called for at the 50-yard line and made. John Shademan. Bethel Park again, good field position. Going to mark him at the Penn Hills 49-yard line. So Bethel Park with another opportunity to put this thing away. Difference in half. The Indians fumbled, and Bethel Park turned it into a touchdown. Bethel Park fumbled, and the Indians went 3 and out. Eric Vincent gets credit with that tackle. Loss of 2. Gabe Wright, good to see that he's back in action. Indians a banged up squad. Ford breaks some tackles into the secondary, and he's gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Bethel Park. Flag back at the 45-yard line. I think this one's going to come back. Look like some holding going on. Going to be a hold against Bethel Park. So the 50-yard run going to be called back. And the flag at about the 45-yard line. So it'll be marked off from there. This will mark Bethel Park back to the just outside their own 35. Now it amounts to about a 15-yard penalty. Again, a Bethel Park mistake keeping them from sealing the deal here.
With the penalty, it is now second and 26 at the Bethel Park 35-yard line.
Marsh on the delay. And the Indians' tackling tonight has been suspect at best. Marsh gets 4. And it'll be third and about 21. Closer to 22. I would suspect with a 14-point lead, Bethel Park would try to do something to at least keep the clock rolling. Miles Davis goes up. The officials changed the clock to 10:41 to go. Marsh on the draw. Wrapped up. Initial contact by Aaron Donald. And assisting on the play, Terrell Glanton. And Bethel Park's going to have to kick it away. Darby will drop back inside his own 25-yard line. Bethel Park able to get the kick away, and it's short. And it goes out of bounds about the 40-yard line. That's about where they'll mark it. 9:56 to go, fourth quarter. Bethel Park 20, Penn Hill 6. You're watching Indians football on Comcast. Fulton brings the Indians to the line quickly from the shotgun. Steps up into the pocket, throws downfield and pass in and out of the hands. Darius Patton. Indians on the road next Friday night. We'll travel up to Butler. It's always my favorite road game, going to Butler. It's a nice trip, and it's probably one of the best views of any press box. An easy trip right up Route 8. Fulton again. Steps up into the pocket, under pressure, gets away, throws underneath, and a pass almost intercepted. That was 6 points there for Adam Lazenga. Again, Bethel Park doing everything they can to keep the Indians in this game. And the Indians not taking advantage of it. Third year in a row these two teams have played. The Indians won 2 years ago at Bethel Park. Blackhawks were here last year. and one on a Hail Mary at the end of the game. And Bethel Park looking to make it 2 in a row here in Penn Hills. Ball on the field. Who has it? Bethel Park says they have it. Of course they do. Who does have it? Yes, they do. Dan Mason with the fumble. And the Indians turn it over again. 9:32 to go in the fourth quarter. Bethel Park at the Penn Hills 35. Again, Bethel Park doing everything they can to keep Penn Hills in this game, and Bethel and the Indians doing everything they can to try to get Bethel Park to put it away. Bethel Park up by 14. Bethel Park, just throw it to the end zone. It's my philosophy. Get a chance to put it away, to take a shot. But Marsh will get down to the 31-yard line with a pickup of 4. You know, I often think sometimes, too, if you get a turnover deep in your opponent's territory, first play, go for the end zone. Just to really kick him in the gut, figuratively speaking. Bethel Park watches the clock rule under 9 minutes. Marsh, right side, across the 30, 35, 25. Will be close to a first down. About 5 yards, it's going to be just short. Well, fourth and less than a yard. Again, there you go, Dave. How's an opportunity? Fourth and less than a yard. Ball at the 25-yard line. Take a shot. Come back on 4th and inches. Marsh again will have the first down inside the 20. Marsh will get down inside the 15-yard line to the 14 before the Indians finally bring him down. 12 yards and first down. Indian defensive line just getting blown off the ball right now. They've been on the field quite a bit. The Indians this half, 3 plays, fumble. 3 plays, punt. 3 plays, punt. 3 plays, fumble. Marsh. Just drives himself inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line for a gain of 7. And right now the Indians look like a team that's been beaten up. Clock at 6:50 and running. Bethel Park in no hurry. And a couple of flags come in. And Bethel Park jumped. So it'll cost them 5. They called second down and 12. Clock stopped for the moment with 6:49 to go. And the Indians on the road Friday night at Butler. And then on the road again at North Allegheny. Olsen, play action, fools everybody, throws underneath, and a pass too far. He was looking for his tight end, Keith Doyle. Blackhawks with a third down. Vollmer up. Vollmer offset in the eye. He'll come in motion. And it'll be Marsh. Indians close. It'll be short of the first down, but gets inside the 10. Dan Mason will make the tackle at the 9 after a pickup of 3, and it'll be fourth down for Bethel Park. I think if you're Bethel Park, you keep the offense on. If you don't get it, you keep the Indians pinned deep. If you do get it, you get a first and goal or a touchdown. After having one kick blocked already tonight, I don't think you bring out the field goal unit. But it may be what they do. No, they do keep the offense on. Play action. Olsen looking underneath. Has a man. Pass complete. First down. And Vollmer, does he get in? No, they're ruling it a fumble. They are ruling it a fumble. Dan Mason up the sideline. Mason, one man to beat, gets up. Chase from behind. Mason goes down at the 25-yard line. No, they're going to roll him down. They're going to roll him down at the 25. What the heck happened there? Vollmer looked like was into the end zone. Mason, 75-yard fumble return. And the Indians have it at the 25-yard line. Yeah, now here's where you throw to the end zone. What the heck happened there? Vollmer is hurt. I wish we had instant replay. Bob, you need to invest the $50,000 in instant replay. And there's an injured Blackhawk down. That's Vollmer back at the 35. 5:18 to go, fourth quarter. The Indians trail by 14, knocking on the door. This is Penn Hills football on Comcast. Following the injury timeout, the Indians with a first down at the Bethel Park 25-yard line. And as we're discussing up here, go for the end zone here. The injury timeout kind of quieted this crowd. The Indians looking to see if they can get them going again. Fulton looks, throws over the middle. Like some contact, nothing called. Patton was looking for the flag. Clock will stop with 5:14 to go. Fulton, straight drop, looks near side towards Eiffel. And Eiffel unable to come up with it. Nice defensive play by Matt Bliss to break it up. And it'll be third down. Indians go for that same play again. Tommy Fulton's completed one pass this half. His first one, 4-yarder to Brandon Eiffel. Since then, 8 straight incompletions. Fulton throws, pass, Washington. Chris Washington will haul it in for a first down at the 15-yard line. Clock will stop for a moment with 5:01 to go here, fourth quarter. A lot of time left here in this game. The Indians score here. It's brand new. Fulton again, straight drop, looking, Eiffel, end zone. And Eiffel does not hold on to the ball. And he knows it. Oh my, Brandon Eiffel. God bless him, he's the sickest man in Texas. You don't see that too often with that young man, but it happens. And I still say the Indians need to get the ball into his hands. Patton goes in motion left to right. Darby behind Fulton, and Fulton's going to throw. End zone. Too far. And Fulton got smacked as he threw the ball. It'll be third down. Again, Bethel Park doing everything they can to not seal this one away. And the Indians doing everything they can to not take advantage of it. Fulton again, under pressure, throws underneath, has Washington at the 10. And we'll get inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, picks up 6. The Indians will be looking at a 4th and 4. Fulton, quick throw, and the pass is batted. Oh, goodness gracious. Had a man, Tyler Berryman, at the goal line, but Bethel Park got the paw up. Bethel Park will take over on downs with 3:35 to go at their own 9-yard line. Again, the Indians unable to take advantage of a Bethel Park turnover. Marsh hit in the backfield. Gets away from 1, but does not get away from 2 and 3. Be dropped back at the 7 for a loss of 2. But more importantly for Bethel Park, the clock continues to run. Marsh again. And Dan Mason, oh my! Torpedoes through, brings Marsh down at the 5-yard line. Another loss of 2. And it'll be third down from the 5-yard line. And that's the Indians calling a timeout with 3:05 to go. Your score, Bethel Park 20, Penn Hills 6. You're watching Indians football here on Comcast. There's lots of hot dogs. Following the timeout, Bethel Park looking at a 3rd and we'll call it 14 from the 5-yard line. Marsh again. Aaron Donald will hog tie him after a pickup of 3. And Bethel Park with a 4th down. Indians use another timeout. And the Indian defense will head on over to the sideline. Bethel Park will be coming back to punt. 2:56 remain, and the Indians really need to get something going, and they need to get it going quickly. Had a great opportunity following the Dan Mason 75-yard fumble return. Back to the 25-yard line after Bethel Park fumbled at the goal line. The Indians unable to capitalize, turning the ball over at the 9-yard line. Now the defense doing its job to get Bethel Park a 3 and out. Now if you're the Indians, do you send all 11? And now joining us in the booth for the first time this year, and you are?
Samantha.
Samantha who?
Samantha Navari.
I know you. You enjoying the game?
Yes.
And what are you doing now?
I'm up here watching the Indians.
Okay, go Indians. Bethel Park gets the punt away. Darby at the 36-yard line gets a hole inside the 20. A flag comes flying in. Oh, goodness. Darby had it inside the 20-yard line. Flag back at the 24, so the Indians the ball at flag. Where's the flag? Yeah, the flag back at the 23-yard line. So the Indians will start at the 33 instead of inside the 20. Oh my! Darby will be to Fulton's left. Washington comes in motion to the near side. Fulton, nice job holding the snap, throwing towards the end zone. And there's some contact, but the offensive receiver ran into the defender, so there would be no flag. Clock will stop with 2:39 to go. Again, Washington comes in motion this way. Fulton looks this way, throws underneath towards Washington, hauls it in inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. Mark him at the 28, a pickup of 5. And it'll be 3rd down and 5. Clock running, approaching 2:15. Again from the shotgun. Fulton, flush, near side, throws. As a man, pass complete, out of bounds. Nice catch, nice step out. Darius Patton, first down Indians at the 20-yard line. 8 yards and a first down. That was a heads-up play. A lot of kids would want to turn that inside to try to pick up a lot, but Patton had the first down, stepped out, and got the clock stopped. Indians have one timeout left. They'd like to hold on to that as long as they can. And Fulton flushed this way. He's going to tuck it under and run inside the 20, 15. Get out of bounds, stop the clock after a pickup of 7 yards down to the 13-yard line. Fulton took what they gave him. Got the clock stopped with 2:01. And the ball to 13. Indians, a lot of opportunities wasted tonight, including an interception back to the 10-yard line at a first and goal at the 10. Was able to do nothing with it. Fulton again steps up, throws underneath, and throws behind. Brandon Eiffel at the 5-yard line. Play only took 3 seconds. Indians trying to get back into it. They need 7. Fulton throws one towards the right and the pass too far for Washington. Now the Indians looking at a 4th down and 3. Ball at the 13-yard line. So this, for all intents and purposes, should be the game if the Indians don't make it. But the way Bethel Park's been tonight, stranger things could happen. Fourth and 3 at the 13. Fulton again from the shotgun. Throws right, has a man. The pass complete to Washington. Inside the 10-5. Touchdown, Indians, Chris Washington. So the Indians now trail by 8. Big kick by Mike Farraco. His first was blocked. Kick is up. And the kick is good. 1:48 to go here in the 4th quarter. The Indians now trail by a score of 20-13. Trail Bethel Park by 7. If you recall last year's game, it came down to a Hail Mary at the end. It would possibly be something again. There's a flag at the 10-yard line. Did we get a running into the kicker? Well, it could go for 2, but I think you'd want to probably keep the point on the board. So if you don't get it, you now trail by, 8. So you trail by 7, get another touchdown, then you can go for 2. So they'll mark us off to kickoff. The Indians are able to get into the end zone. Again, they'll have the option of either going for the tie or the win. Personally, I think if you're able to get into the end zone again at this point, go for the win right there. If the Indians get into the end zone again, go for the win. Just the way Bethel Park has been all night. They've really have gone up and down the field on the Indians. They've done everything but score. Fracos gets the tee at the 40-yard line, but they're going to mark off the running into the kicker penalty. So kickoff from the 45. Ball will need to get to the opposite 45. So at the moment, Fracco has student body right. And we'll assume that's where he's going to kick it. Ball needs to go 10 yards before it's touched by an Indian. And it goes right into the arms of a Blackhawk. Out left. Bethel Park probably have to run a couple of plays. Ford. Lane, near side. We'll have a first down at the 46-yard line. No, they're going to give him 9 yards. Probably give them all they need. Start taking knees. May have that now. Ford dives across the 45 to the 44. Gets a first down, and Bethel Park need not run another play. I think one knee ought to do it. Clock rolling at 45 seconds. Olson is going to watch the Mac Judge down to our right. Wait for him to put his hand up. There he goes, back at the 27-yard line. They take the knee. And that'll do it. Final score here at Uhas McGinley Stadium. For the second year in a row, the Bethel Park Blackhawks ruined the Indians' home opener. This time the score, the Penn Hills Indians lose. It's Bethel Park 20, Penn Hills 13. No, the Indians called timeout with 25 seconds to go. And the Indians are going to make them take another knee. So the Indians will be in action Friday night against Butler. .25 seconds remain. Again, Bethel Park, all they need to do is get a clean snap, and the game will be over. No, they do fumble it. Holy cow! Bethel Park falls on it, but the ball did come loose. Holy mackerel. I guess that's why they used the timeout. But now that'll do it this time as the clock winds down. Again, your final score, Bethel Park 20, Penn Hills 13. For the second year in a row, the Blackhawks come in and spoil the Indians' home opener. The Indians fall to 0-2 on the season. Bethel Park moves up to 2-0. And the Indians need to find some answers on offense as they look towards Butler Friday night. Once again, your score from Uhas McGinley Stadium, the Bethel Park Blackhawks 20, your Penn Hills Indians 13. I'm Bill Navari. We'll see you Friday night for more Penn Hills Indians football from Butler. Thanks again for watching Penn Hills Indians football here on Comcast.